What's up, YouTube? It's your girl DeeDee. Welcome back to the channel. So I'm back with another reaction video for you guys. Now, in this particular video, this woman is having a hard time because she was just fired from her job for sexual harassment. Now, this experience that she's having, it just proves that women really don't want equality. They only want equality when it benefits them, but when it goes the other way, they have a hard time accepting it. I want to play this video clip, even though this is, disheartening that she lost her job, but you got to also put into perspective how men have had to deal with these types of situations, how men have been put in these situations where they felt they didn't do anything wrong. It was just jokes and it was just fun. When they were reported for something they had no bad intentions on, and how a lot of men have been put in these positions and lost their jobs because of similar situations. So I want to get into the video. Make sure you chime in the comments below. I want to hear your thoughts on this one. Let me know your thoughts, what you think of this equality that women are now finding themselves having to deal with, even, the not so good parts of it. What's your thoughts on it? Chime in the comments below. Comment, like, subscribe to the channel. Turn on that notification bell. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. But let's get into the video. Here we go.
I just got fired at my job for harassing someone. You know how many men I work with that make sexual jokes, and I happen to be a part of one? And some young kid, because I made a comment he didn't like that was not sexual, I offended him. He went to HR and said that I harassed him. I won't leave him alone.
Now listen, this is unfortunate. Once again, I'm not advocating for people losing their jobs, because people need to work, but it points to a bigger picture. Once again, this is the things that men have had to deal with for years. This is something that men have had to deal with in the workplace when they weren't doing anything wrong. But if a woman could just go and report them to say that she felt uncomfortable with the conversation that he was having in her midst, like it didn't even have to be anything that was directed to her, but if she was in the area of them having a conversation that offended her, that she didn't feel comfortable with, she could go report him for SA, and he would lose his job just like that. No thoughts about it. But now that equality has set in, and now men can go and feel uncomfortable, in these situations as well, and it's an equal playing field. Now they get to see what men had to go through for all this time. They get to realize that you can't play these games, that it's going to affect you negatively as well. It's not just all on men, but it's all on you too. So you gotta be more cautious and careful about how you move, because a man might just take offense to what you're saying and go report you. So you got to realize you got to move the same way you expected men to move, to shut up, be quiet. Don't say anything outside of work, because it just may cost you your job. That's just what equality looks like. You can't be open to accepting the good things about equality when it's good for you and it benefits you, but you got to also understand, everything that goes with it. You know what I mean? So yeah, this is part of it. And it's unfortunate she lost her job, but it's a part of it. This is what men have had to deal with for the longest. Let's continue.
I'm a single mom. I don't get child support right now. And the thing that sucks, I didn't do anything wrong. It's a dumb kid. I made a comment about his girlfriend not making his lunch. It was a joke. Mind you, this kid, who's a weirdo, by the way, always trying to be around me, always trying to talk to me. I never said anything sexual to him at all. That's number one. But I made a comment one day because we went back and forth, like joking about stuff. I made a comment about how he has this girl lunchbox, and I didn't say he was gay or anything like that. It wasn't a sexual or a derogatory thing. I just said, so who makes your lunch? Does your girlfriend make your lunch? And he goes, no. And I like made a face like I'm joking around. And he got really offended, and he goes, my girlfriend has a master's degree, and you're making it sound like her not making my lunch means that she's not adequate. And I go, whoa, because I didn't mean it that way. It was a joke. And mind you, we've been joking for like a month and a half now about different things.
But this reminds me of when men have had to defend themselves in these same situations where men say, look, we have been talking like this for a while. Like, it was never a problem. We've had conversations about this and that, and we laughed and joked, and it was all jokes. But then one day she just got serious and decided to go take it to the next level. This is no different from what men have been talking about for years. How, out of one day we was all laughing and joking about this, making jokes. It could have been in nature or whatever, and she had no problem with it. Then one day, like I said, she just up and decide, you're out of line, and then she goes and reports him, and then he ends up fired from his job. Because this is how a lot of women move. Like, they get in their feelings. It never was a problem. Everybody joking and laughing, and then she takes it serious one day, and then all of a sudden, bam, he loses his job. So this is no different from this same situation reversed. This is what a lot of men have had to deal with. Like, come on. Like, and we know women, you could be mad about, she could get mad about something that in her personal life, and then she bring it to work, and then y'all usual laughing jokes that y'all always had, all of a sudden now it becomes serious, and now she gets to go and rat on you, and you lose your job just like that. So it's really no different. This is what men have been talking about for years. And it's interesting to see, while unfortunate at the same time that she lost her job, this is the things that men have been talking about. They have made whole news articles and vlogs about men on the job, and how men won't even look at the women, and how men don't want to even be in the same spaces with women on the job in fear of women claiming that they, sexually assaulted them or made advances of them or made them feel uncomfortable, to the point to where now men don't even want to work with women in the same space, because it could be all fine. Y'all could be laughing and joking for a long time, and then all of a sudden, when she feel like it's inappropriate, or she feels that you said something out of line, you could lose your job just based off of that, her reporting you when it was all fine. So this is why I always say, listen, you have to be very careful about how you speak to people and what you're talking about on in the workplace, because they could actually go and report you for something like that, and you could just lose your job. Because like she said in this video, they didn't ask any questions. They weren't like, oh, well, what did you say? What you do? No, this is what he's saying, so we got to let you go. Certain jobs don't tolerate that, and they're just going to let you go based off of the claim. And this is what's been happening to men for years. My advice would be just to keep it strictly on the job. Don't go outside of that. Don't deviate outside of that, because you just never know. You know what I'm saying? You just never know. Let's continue.
And the next thing I know, I get a call from HR like a week ago that I'm overly flirtatious, and it's essentially that I am sexually harassing this guy who's like 28 years old. If something I said offended him, I am the type of person that knows how to set boundaries and knows how to respect them. And for me, working here, this is a job that gave me the most pay I've had in a long time. Instead of coming to me and saying, what you said really upset me, and I don't think that we should talk anymore because I feel that you're disrespectful or something like that, I would have respected it in a heartbeat. I wouldn't risk losing my livelihood for me and my child.
But once again, this is the grace that men have not been given. There are many situations where men have said this exact same thing, where they're like, hey, listen, if you could have we could have had a conversation. If you would have told me, hey, this was inappropriate, I would stop. I don't mean any harm by it, but if you thought that I was out of line, or if it was inappropriate, why couldn't you have given me that same grace to just have the conversation, and I would have stopped? No, because they felt entitled to go and report this. As women feel entitled, and they don't think about giving you grace or think about your livelihood. They don't care. They just want you removed, and that's that. So a lot of women have moved in this way, and they didn't care about the man's livelihood. And so now it's in a position to where now jobs are not really caring either. They're like, hey, if this is what you're doing and you have a complaint against you, they just nip it in the bud. Like, okay, no, you gotta go because we don't want this on the job. So once again, men have not been given that grace. And maybe in her case, she would have, but this is not true for a lot of the situations that we've seen with men who have complained about the same thing and mentioned the same thing she's mentioning, that, hey, it just could have been a conversation. They weren't met with that same grace when it came to women. Let's continue.
I explained everything to the lady on the phone. I was honest about everything because there's really nothing that I did wrong. Mind you, this kid, after he makes this report to HR, is coming over to my desk, trying to say hello to me, trying to conversate with me, trying to get me to come to his department and watch him make stuff in my downtime. I tell this lady everything, but the thing is that once something is said, that's it. They basically have to get rid of you. And I was hoping that when she called me and I explained everything to her, I was praying to God, like, please, don't let me not have a job. I'm 30 years old. I take care of myself and my son. And this fucking kid just robbed me of my livelihood. I don't even think he's smart enough to know what he did or that I would get fired. Like, I think that's how dumb he is. And he just took away my income. That's so fucking upset right now. I'm a grown adult. I would say, you know what? I f***ed up. Yeah, I should be fired. I would have been preparing, looking for other jobs because, yeah, I f***ed up. Oh, yeah. Yeah, okay. I didn't do anything wrong. People make jokes all the time. It wasn't a single joke. Mind you, this kid has been, like, pursuing me and flirting with me, and he flirts with every girl in the store. But because I make one comment that offends him, instead of being mature and coming to me, he goes to HR and accuses me of being like a predator or something. And now I don't have a job. And I have a child. Like, I'm so mad. I did not deserve this. I don't even know what to say. Like, there's not more to the story. It is what it is. I said something that offended him because to him, I was making it sound like because his girlfriend didn't make his lunch that she's inadequate. It was a joke, and there's more to that joke. He didn't to do that. And that's either like, because he's so dumb. Like, he came to me to talk to me and be all friendly after he made that report. Like, I don't think he realizes that I was going to get fired. It's not like they say, hey, this person feels this way, you know, maybe you should separate yourselves. No, they get rid of you. If somebody accuses you of harassing them, they get rid of you. The company gets rid of you. And I knew that when she called me, and I was so afraid, but I was like, you know what, maybe she'll understand, like, this is a situation. I didn't harass him. I didn't harass him at all. I would never actually force an interaction with someone if I knew that they didn't want to talk to me. He never said that. It was one comment that upset him. But now, I'm going to be behind on my bills.
Yeah, this is unfortunate. This is unfortunate that she lost her income. This should be a lesson to women that you can't go into the workforce or any place with that old mentality, like as if women are entitled and they can just have their way and do whatever they want and there are no consequences. The tides are shifting. They're changing slowly but surely. And I just think it's unfortunate she lost her job. Hopefully she can get another one. But this is what you have to consider when you know, this is when equality goes wrong. When you don't want the same equality that men have to face. This is something that men have had to face for years and years. Going into the workforce where women could just get mad at them and don't like them for whatever reason, or if you deny her advances and she gets mad and decides that she wants to go make a false claim against you, she can, and then your livelihood is just instantly taken away. This is something that's happened to men over and over and over again, and nobody bats an eye. It's just what it is. Just, you need to do better. So this is what women are going to have to accept as well. You're going to have to do better. You're going to have to start going into these places, understanding that you're equal to a man and that the same treatments that men get, they apply to you now. So that means you got to start realizing where you stand, and that, hey, it's not all about you, and you're not going to always be able to get this woman privilege that women have been accustomed to for so long, that now the tides are shifting, and you're going to have to start to wake up and realize that, hey, if you want to be equal to a man, if you want equality, this is what you fought for. You got to understand, you got to take the good, the bad, and the ugly that's associated with it. This is what we've seen when it comes to men, and they just got to chalk it up to what it is. And they lose their jobs. They have families to take care of too, but nobody cares. And they got to go find another job. They got to do things to get their lives back in order when something like this happens. And there's no recourse afterwards. There's no accountability. It's just like, oh, this is what it is. And you just have to suck it up and figure your life out. Nobody cares. This, unfortunately, is what's happening with her as well, because they don't care. This is what it is. This is how it's been. And you just got to pick up the pieces yourself and figure it out and learn from your mistakes. But hopefully this enlighten women a little bit to make them understand a little bit of what men go through. And then if you know, that you need to be a little bit more open to what men issues, because a lot of women are not. They could care less. They don't care. You're a man, figure it out. Well, you're a woman, you're equal to a man. You're going to have to figure it out too. So listen, y'all, let me know what y'all think in the comments below. Comment, like, subscribe to the channel. Hit that bell to be notified when I upload new content. Chime in. I want to hear what you have to say, and I will catch you in the next one. Bye.